Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around this crazy world. I'm Crazy John from Milwaukee's east side, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA. And this is the last weekend of 2014, Saturday, December 27th, 2014. And we're going to talk about my 2015 remote viewing forecast predictions. And next weekend, hopefully I can get it published. We'll talk about what I predicted for 2014. I'll look back what came true, and I'll tell you, a bunch of them did come true. And of course, some don't. And number one, these will not all come true. There'll be a small percentage. These will not all come true. I don't predict assassinations. I don't predict what the weather's going to be next year, or who's going to win the Super Bowl, or World Series, or elections. Some people are good at that. I am not. So let's get on with this, and you can criticize me or whatever you want to talk about. These are just for fun. This is what I see, and I'm not a professional remote viewer. I'm just a guy who looks at trends and sees things that I believe that's going to happen, and they don't all come true. Matter of fact, when I put some of these out, some of these may not come true next year, but maybe 2 or 3 years from now, they may come true, and then they may never come true. Well, let's start. 2015 will be the year of surprises, panic, desperation, war, and hope. And let's look at the world and the United States economy. Radio Shack, Sears, and other small chain stores are going to close for good, possibly JCPenney's. So we're going to see some main stores close next year. Radio Shack will be history. And the European Union's economy is going to have a 90% depression. There'll be riots on the streets in Europe. Japan's economy is going to go. The United States economy is going to be really bad next year. I hate to say that. More unemployment, more business closings. States are going to have to lay off civil service employees. A lot of states and cities are going to not offer any services. East Cleveland, Ohio, was it just a few days ago? They're just not offering some services because they're broke. Well, we're going to start seeing this. And yes, the mainstream news media and the U.S. government's going to lie to the American people. Oh, the economy's doing good, and stock market's up, people are getting more hired and stuff. And people are not going to believe it, so it's going to get really bad, okay? By the way, if you want to take notes on this or replay this back, go ahead. The U.S. car sales are going to be really bad in the United States. Car dealerships are going to go out of business. It's going to be the car bubble, like the housing bubble. And car sales are going to be way down. Home sales are going to be very low. Home construction will be down 75%. This is what I'm seeing. Christmas of 2015 will be the worst Christmas in U.S. history. The U.S. dollar will get so weak. And there will be bail-ins. Remember the bailouts? We're going to have bail-ins in the United States. It's going to happen in other countries. It's already happened in Cyprus, I believe. China's economy is going to go way down due to the United States economy going bad in other countries. And there'll be bank holidays here in the United States. So you're going to see people lined up in front of the banks, getting their money out. Get your money out of the banks now. Go to credit union and just keep a little bit in there to pay bills. Keep your cash at home in a safe place. I suggest you buy gold and silver coins. Silver is down right now. So there'll be bank holidays. ATM machines going to run out, get your cash now, whatever you need. Fuel and gasoline prices will rise again. Right now it's dirt cheap. Take advantage of it. Food prices are really high, beef prices, but I do see that's going to go down and lower, including the beef prices, it's going to go low. Other countries will join the BRICS nations. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa nations. They're backed by gold, not the U.S. dollar. And this is going to cause problems for the bankers here in the United States that are ripping us off with this phony dollar bill. Gold and silver prices will rise at all-time high. You don't have to buy gold. Silver right now is, what, $15 an ounce, somewhere around here? If you go to Coin Shop, you're going to pay $3 over spot. But buy some silver, folks. Get it now. It's cheap. Fukushima nuclear power plant in Japan. You're going to see the fishing industry all the way from Alaska, Canada, down the west coast of the United States. They're going to go out of business. A lot of them are going to head over to the east coast of Canada, United States, and even down to South America. It's going to bring jobs and competition because the population of the fish and crab population is dying. The Pacific Ocean is dying. There's cesium in the seafood. I wouldn't eat anything from the Pacific Ocean. which we get to Red Lobster restaurant chain. They're going to cancel all seafood from the Pacific Ocean, and other restaurants are going to do the same. They're going to be ordering their food from the Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, South Atlantic Ocean. The United States Navy is going to cancel all port visits to Japan, except for southern Japan and Okinawa. It's supposed to be Okinawa, not Oka. Everybody says Oka, but it's Oki in Japanese. You're going to have port visits there, but mainland Japan, there's not going to be no port visits due to the radiation. The Malaysian airline mysteries. Both Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 disappeared back in March, and the one that was shot down over Ukraine, which Russia did not shoot it down, but Ukraine did it. Could it be the same plane? I believe these Malaysian airline mysteries will be solved. The United States government and Obama administration, there will be two high-level cabinet members. They're going to resign. Secretary of State John Kerry, will he resign? Possibility. The U.S. Supreme Court will rule on same-sex marriages. They're going to rule that it's up to the states to pass legislation for same-sex marriage. They want to make it legal or not. I foresee that next year that the United States Supreme Court is going to rule, let the states do it. The Supreme Court will rule that making threats on the internet is not protected speech. Free speech, making threats to somebody, it's like yelling fire in a movie theater when there's no fire. The U.S. Supreme Court will rule on some Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, that there's some provisions that are unlawful. And because of Obamacare Act, I believe it's going to collapse anyway because the high unemployment rate, the economy is collapsing here, and people are not going to comply with it. And the Supreme Court ruling, Congress was just going to have to put Obamacare on hold and rewrite some of it and hold it on for another few years and reintroduce it into legislation. That's what I see. Obama's amnesty for illegal aliens, which they shouldn't be here. There shouldn't be any amnesty. It will fail due to lawsuits from other states and other lawsuits, and Congress interfering to delay it. I see he will fail. And after congressional fight, the block relations with Cuba, the United States will open its first U.S. embassy in Havana, Cuba, in 50-some years. And Cuba will open up an embassy in Washington, D.C. Arts and entertainment, the new Star Wars movie will be a box office hit. I can't wait to see that. American Idol announces 2015 will be its last season due to the poor performance ratings. They've been having problems. Ebola virus will be old news. You ain't going to hear much of it this time next year, but it will spread. War, terrorism, Middle East, Ukraine. There will be a lone wolf terrorist attacks in the United States, like what happened in Australia back in this month, December 14, 2014, orchestrated by Western intelligence agencies, of course. And they're going to blame somebody in the Middle East to get the war in the Middle East. So they're going to blame these phony ISIS or terrorist groups that it's going to happen. You're going to have some lone nut walk in a coffee shop and shoot people and say he's from ISIS, the Middle East. Yeah, ISIS. You're going to see that. U.S. troops will be on the ground on Syrian soil. They want to get Assad out of there. There will be war in Lebanon, and Ukraine may spark pre-World War III, or World War III will spark in Ukraine. Like I say, number 1, number 4, a major false flag terrorist attack will be bigger than 9/11, and it could be the beginning of World War III. And the only blame will be on Syria and Iran. That's what I see. Miscellaneous. Greece really had a bad depression. Their economy's gone to hell. Their country's gone to hell. I believe the people of Greece are going to begin a revolution. They're going to prosecute and imprison some of their public office holders and bankers, like the country of Iceland. You know, Iceland's doing perfect. They're doing good. They put their bankers, politicians in jail. They're doing great. I think I see this happening in Greece. You won't hear it over here in the news because the American news media and government don't want to give American ideas. Too bad Americans know what's going on. Microsoft announces a new Windows or brings back Windows XP in a new upgrade. And a strong coronal mass ejection from the sun will cause grid power outages. And more Americans will surrender their U.S. citizenship. We can see more Americans leaving the United States. And I believe railroads will be getting back into passenger business for more profit. And at last, Scotland will secede after a successful election. They'll be successful after the failure of this year's phony, baloney election fraud they had. That's my 2014 predictions. You can replay them over. They're not all coming true. My 2015 predictions, they ain't all going to come true. And next year, we're going to talk about what came true in 2014. I'm sorry to say the bad news in the economy, but it's just getting worse, folks. Unless American people just wake up and pull through and see the phony baloney stuff going on. Folks, as we end 2014, I'm glad it's gone. I hope there's better things that will happen in 2015. I hope I'm wrong. So, see you next year. So long, 2014, and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.